morning, one and all. Today is another gorgeous day here in the great state of Texas. And Julie decided to join me this morning because we wanted to talk a little bit about what we've been through in building the shelter and what we've learned. How do you feel after 3 weeks? Did you ever expect it to take 3 weeks?
No, it took way longer than I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I didn't expect it to take us 3 out of the 4 weeks we have the backhoe.
Oh, I know. On paper, it seemed like it was going to take us a week.
Well, that's what we originally rented it for a week, and the 5th day came, I was like, there's no way. Well, doing it in 100+ degrees every single day for 3 weeks is like torture.
Well, this is really out of the ordinary for us due to the fact that normally if it hits even the 90s,
we're inside.
We're inside hibernating.
Can't do that here. We would never leave our RV.
I never thought that we would be pulling, 5 to 10 hours out in 100-degree weather.
I think we got good sunblock, non-toxic.
Yeah, we've both been baked and we both have blistered, and we've been through some hardships of working out in this weather. I got pinned underneath the railroad ties a couple of times, and I got to throw this out there because I know somebody's going to say something, but I don't wear my hard boots due to the fact I don't have them with me. Julie and I are kind of cheapskates due to the fact that we like to put our money into our projects and into our property instead of,
Things.
Time to get to work.
Yep.
Time to start making this, finishing this shelter. So stay tuned, guys.
Well, how's that for specialness? We have a motto around our homestead that if we plant anything, it's gonna have to be a life source, which normally is food. So, what do you guys think? Love to know your thoughts in the comments. Oh yeah. For any of you individuals out there that have watched our previous videos, you guys see anything familiar running across the base of that hill there? That's right, pineapple. So those are actually the tops of the pineapple that we canned in our pineapple video, and look at them go. I tell you, it's one of those things to where regrowing food from produce from the grocery store is one of the things that Julie and I like to do. And we're working on a bunch of avocado seeds right now. Really like to get some avocado trees going around here. But the two outside trees are plum, and the center is a lime tree. But we have an automatic watering system. It's on a timer. It waters at 4 a.m. before the sun comes up. And then it waters again at 8 p.m. Drip hoses. If you're going to use drip hoses, you end up losing a lot of the water into the earth. So what Julie and I thought we would do is, dig a little ditch and lay it in it with visqueen underneath. So all of the water that is dispersed in the areas between the trees gathers the water and shoots it on down to that tree. And then up here, all that water shoots down to that tree. So it gets, a decent amount of water, and you can actually cut down on your watering times by doing this. Now, I'm sure that some of y'all out there have probably already figured out on doing this, but we never thought about it, and we never seen it done before. It just happened to be that when I laid it down on the ground, I was just like, man, all that water that's going to go to waste. And it's working. So all of our trees are, and we're gonna have to add more dirt here and there, but all of our trees are getting a good watering. And then up there, we ended up buying a 50-foot soaker hose and just kind of wrapped it around this way and that way and up and down and all around, and everything's getting a nice soaking. And the really cool thing is, I pointed out this before, but see this? A lot of our property is sand. And pineapples, they love hot weather and they love sand. So, yeah. So we still have to, you know, you can see here we're still kind of building up, and you know, we're trying to get our full 2 feet. So we're still in the midst of working, and you know, there's one of my 10,000 water bottles that I left up there. And I don't know, I will show you guys over here. This is the back side, which is all undercover now, which, you know, I still need to groom. But in previous videos, and maybe this one here, I showed a shot where this hadn't been done yet. So yeah, it's coming along. Then right here, we got our PVC, which we are going to run our power through and our solar. And then underneath it, which I got just a touch of dirt under there, covering it, is my water line. So we're gonna have running water, power, solar, and we're also gonna have cable, actually satellite, which, come on, Starlink. Can't wait till it finally gets here. Ta-da! This out here, I'm gonna probably put a railroad tie right on the edge. That way I can build up dirt across the top, and this brutal weather isn't going to, you know, bake down on that front tie. But I am going to put a few braces in here, even though I have the walls, you know, angled out. Maybe that's angled out, I'm not sure which way. I'm gonna put just, you know, 2x6 braces, 3 or 4 of them running up and across, and just to make sure everything is that much more stable. And then let me get out of the sun here so you can see this. Hopefully it picks up. All right, what do you guys think? Da-da-da. You know, if you were to ask me, I think it looks beautiful. You know, it's been a long time coming. There you go. Love to hear in the comments what y'all think about it. You know, we have another project that I still have about, I don't know, 30 railroad ties. And, oh, right over there, I'm going to probably end up building a shelter for the truck for baseball size hail. And let me show you a couple of pictures here of of what goes on here in Texas.
Oh! Get down, guys. Hey, put the backpack on your left. Yep.
Well, it's only 94 today, so we're chilling. I want to step in here. I want to show you something. You know, Julie has just been amazing at doing anything that she could that doesn't have to do with lifting and tweaking her back. But check this out. So we're getting to the point where we're going to be pouring concrete, and Julie has been leveling these floors up, and she's getting ready to put in the furring strips. And this isn't an easy job, you know. I mean, you can only level it so much with the machinery. You know, we might try to do this whole area here and see how it turns out, but if I find that I can't make, you know, the concrete quick enough in order to keep the other from setting up and then having issues, I might try to pour it a little bit wet, but every time that I've tried to pour a little bit wet in the past, it has a tendency to crack out. I could put a bonding agent in it to help it to where it doesn't crack out on us, but we'll see how it goes. But I just wanted to give a shot here that my lovely wife here is contributing massively. So what do you think? How do you think it's all going?
I don't know. It's a little bit.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of a light at the end of the tunnel thing for you digging out here. Gotta get these furring strips, and then tomorrow would really be nice if we, you know, if we ended up loading in the concrete, but you know, I still have, yeah, we still got to haul the dirt out, and I'm still putting in more furring. We're still putting in more supports, and you can't have enough supports. You cannot have enough supports. At least, you know, the way that Julie and I look at it is, this is something that, again, if we get any earthquakes or if we get any major downpours or any type of flooding type quantity of rain, that this thing is going to stay just as stable as it was when we built it like now. So there you go. Here's a quick update. Well, before we head out of town, we are taking the Malamutes for their snake shot. Don't know if you guys have ever heard about it, but here in Texas, they actually have a shot that is to create immunity in the dog if they get bit by a cottonmouth or a water moccasin, rattlesnake. And, you know, I think it's pretty cool. They say that once the shot is, you know, given, the dogs will still act up a little bit, but they won't die. And I'm ended up putting this in there due to the fact that I am just now going to show you the snake kill that I got tore up by my cat. That, you know, it's just part of Texas. And I know there's probably a lot of animal activists out there, a lot of snake lovers that say you don't need to do this or that. Well, let me put it this way. Texans don't tolerate things that are going to seriously harm you or take your life. You know, we have put snake bait all around, which is a product that, because they are very sensitive to smell, it doesn't seem to be working. I've tried just about everything. So don't rip me apart in the comments and so forth, because that's just being in Texas, especially when you have a big pond like we have. So, you know, the snakes don't survive around ponds that have livestock, horses, and so forth. You have to deal with the problem, otherwise your investments in your beef or whatever are going to end up having some major problems, and it's going to cost you a lot of money. So no, let me make it very transparent. We don't get off on killing these snakes. It's just that's the way that it has to be. It is Darwinism. And, you know, our dogs are like family members. So today, they're getting their shots. And, you know, I put the snake kill in just for general interest for you all out there that, you know, don't know about Texas and the predator situation. So there you go. Off to see the vet. Peace. So this guy tried to go after my cat,
Oh my God, he's still alive.
and I had to grab my cat. My cat wanted to get the snake, so he tore me up, and
That is just disgusting.
Julie ran and got the shovel for me, and unfortunately somebody had to lose this war.
Look at that. He's still alive.
Yeah, it's unfortunate this has to be, but this dude here will end up killing my cat. And my cat was ready to jump on it, and I was fortunate enough in order to grab him. And he wanted at him so bad that he just went at me.
Yeah, we can go clean that up now.
So,
Throw him in the burn barrel.
welcome to Texas, ladies and
Look at
gentlemen.
him.
Welcome to Texas. Good morning, Texas. Julie and I are out here bright and early this morning. It's a rather humid morning. It's about 85 degrees. Humidity's probably around 75%. We've been out here about a half an hour and we're dripping like we just climbed out of the pool. But anyhow, what I'm showing you here is a problem. Previously, I said that we've never done one of these before and we're just kind of winging it as we go along. Well, when you wing it, you try to think ahead as to the best method of doing the next step or two. Well, Julie and I, we missed a step. And that step is that we have the floor framed in order to pour the concrete, which we were all excited that we were going to get this concrete pour done this week. And as you can see here, we're only doing half of the room, and then we're going to do the other half of the room since we have a small mixer and we're not pumping it in by calling in a truck. So after we got this all framed up, which only took us about an hour or so, we started measuring across the room. And as you can see where MJ is, that's right, MJ, I'm talking about you, from where Fang is, we started measuring across, and our door is about 2 inches too low. Nothing like redoing work. Nothing like redoing what you already thought that you had completed and you're never going to have to deal with again. So, that's the way the day's going to go. Gotta get this off. It's digging in. What they say about snorting sawdust. It drives you crazy. I just wanted to pop in here really quick just to show you what happens to individuals when they start getting brain fog because it's 100 and whatever outside. This is the part of the door that's supposed to be on outside. So yes, we are under the influence of brain fog, and it's not due to any party drugs. Heat only. Good times. Now I'm going to reinstall the door. And that might not look like very much. I did get a skill saw just to make a cut across, you know, from about 3-4 inches from each end. Only the depth of a saw blade, which pretty much gave me the depth that I was looking for, but chipping this railroad tie away, I think I spent an hour and a half. Cover up, wear eye protection, wear gloves, wear a mask when working with railroad ties. Let's get this door back in. Well, heidi ho there, guys. Hope you're having a great day. At least a better day than what I'm having. I'm having a damn senior moment. I think I previously mentioned how my body is kind of broken down. So Julie's just like, Scott, it's just so hilarious. You got to tell him what happened. I've been down for 3 days because I bent over, farted, and that was the end of my shelter building for the last 3 days. So I don't know if any of you out there have had this problem, but it's a first time for me, and I'm going to give credit to building the shelter. So be careful when you're reaching down grabbing the shovel. And if you feel a fart coming on, don't do it. Well, today is a day that we're forced to take some time off from the shelter. When we first got here to Texas, we had to make an appointment for our insurance to find ourselves a new local doctor. And during Julie's first visit, in her exam, the doctor ended up finding a lump in her throat. Obviously he's like, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal, and don't worry about it, but let's go ahead and get some x-rays and an ultrasound done just to make sure. So here we sit at the hospital. I'm just kind of like hanging out outside and enjoying the weather, listening to the cicadas, and we're hoping that it's no big deal. Julie's out after her ultrasound and her x-rays. What'd they find, Julie?
CD.
Gave you a CD? Bonus.
CBD, something.
Scorpions? Pink Floyd? What?
My thyroid.
Your thyroid.
In my lungs.
Right over here. So tell me, what'd they say? Any good news, bad news, what?
They don't tell you anything. The doctor has to read it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, as for now,
Who knows?
he knows.
They don't even think it's an issue. The x-rays are done every time you see any doctor, just to kind of get a baseline. And I don't know, thyroid trouble will pop over here, but the tests all, the blood work and everything will be fine. So it's just a precaution.
Okay.
I'm gonna live.
She's gonna live. Yay! Well, good morning, one and all. It's a beautiful day here in Texas. Sun's out, humidity's reasonable, and we're getting ready to hit the road. I showed a clip of us having to take Julie to the hospital because in her initial insurance checkup moving here to Texas, they found some nodules on her thyroid, and since the last shot where we were at the hospital doing the x-rays and ultrasound, they called her in for a specialist to take a look at her. So it's not necessarily a good thing by the news that we have heard. We're going to see how it goes. The shelter is on hold for now. Our heart's really not in it. Hang with us and subscribe to our channel. You'll be notified when we get back from the specialist and you get the update. So y'all stay safe out there. Peace. Well, how y'all doing? It's been some time since Julie and I ended up posting our last video on the shelter, but we've been extremely busy. with health issues and business and so forth, but not sure of how many of you outside of Texas understand what happened last night. It's first part of November, and we just had a major tornado event that hit our area. And what it did is it gave us an opportunity to understand and appreciate how awesome it is to have a place to run when tornadoes hit your area. Hey Blaze. Hi buddy. Hey Cash. You guys comfortable? Huh? So this is pretty much where we left off. And it is a shelter. Not much to look at. We were literally surrounded by tornadoes. We had a dozen or more tornadoes touch down, and in our area, we were seriously in the center of the circle of all the tornadoes. There's a little town called Canton that a major supercell ended up forming, and it picked up steam from there, and it passed right through our area here. So if you're in a part of the country where you don't have electrical storms like this might interest you. It's wild. When we first got here a year ago and this happened, we were freaked. Now it's just like every time there's a thunder and lightning storm, this is what we experience. Funny thing is my daughter, we just moved her to Oklahoma for her final year of PA school, and this supercell went through Oklahoma, and her boyfriend has relatives up in Amarillo. They packed up and they took off. So they're probably in Amarillo by now. And the tornadoes stopped before and started after our location. We feel very blessed in that, God watched over us. But the best part was, as we walked into our tornado shelter, and we felt as secure as we possibly could be. There was some huge hail and high winds and so forth, and when we shut the door, it's peace and quiet. There is one part of the shelter that still has only about a foot of sand on it, and when it really started coming down with hail and rain, we could actually hear it. So I'm going to beef that up a little bit, because it just, for those that are in the shelter, they don't need to hear what's going on outside. One thing that we are going to do is we're going to put a camera system down in there, and with hardwired cameras, not Bluetooth, because in the storm you can obviously lose your signal. But that way we're going to be able to look on the monitor and see what's going on outside the shelter without having to open up the door, which, we did anyhow. We sat there for a good portion of the time with the door open, watching what was going on through the tunnel. But I can tell you, if you're a Texan and you don't have a shelter, what we did might not be the best, scenario for you, due to all of the heavy lifting and hard work and so forth. But getting a shelter, even one of the prefab ones that they bring out, dig a hole and set in for you, let me tell you, that peace of mind is worth $1 million, I'm telling you. We did find a leak in our shelter. It had nothing to do with the pond line or anything, but we only hung down Visqueen on one side of the shelter, and when I backfilled it, obviously ripped a hole in it, and there was some small drips coming through the sidewall. But other than that, the shelter did exactly what it was supposed to do. We didn't actually get to test it out with a tornado, ripping through, our property, but it did give us the peace of mind that we were looking for. Last year when we had all of the warnings and watches and we were sitting in the Monaco, it was very unnerving knowing that, at any moment the Monaco could get picked up and thrown who knows how far. But let me show you some footage here, and yeah, God bless Texas.
On Friday evening, powerful destructive tornadoes ripped across eastern Texas. Several towns, including Paris, Texas, took direct hits from the storms, leaving houses and other structures leveled. This impressive satellite imagery shows the line of storms marching across Texas and Oklahoma into Arkansas. Be sure to monitor your local weather watches and warnings to stay weather aware.